Right, we are live. It's always the magic of clicking a button and then you come alive, and then yes, such a wonderful burst of emotion. But anyway, Fambulem, we are live. This is what's important. And today, now the 20th of April, 2023, and we are creeping slowly, but surely to elections. Elections we get for determine the future of we country. The future of we country in many respects, which means that it's a government that is now in existence with the judgment get for based on and the arguments that they will make going forward, and as opposed to a government where potentially will come and replace the government will exist. Whatever the case is, it get for be between two sides. And the two sides get for make a convincing argument. And this is what we're trying to do now this platform. For make sure say a convincing argument is made to the Sierra Leonean people, regardless of what people say. The presentation, the style, the individual, what is most paramount is the country. The country now the common denominator. The side player then are them party there and then politicians there. However, whatever said and done, elections is looming and is critical, and this is going to shape the future of the country, Sierra Leone. And asking Fambulem, it's 20th day of April 2023. Now touch that dial, and we will also ask you for please help for share this broadcast. Thank you and stay tuned. Okay, so just to try for warm up to the program itself. Just barely 5 years ago, we host a similar program where we've been called Election Time, Sierra Leone Decide. Today, almost 5 years on, we call it something different. But let me warm up to what we do 5 years ago.
We said we are going to hand over. And if Captain Strasser decides to change his mind, and I'm part of that group, I was not ready to be a part. Two of you have an interest that is illegal to the interest of this nation. I will not follow you. Even if we have agreement, I will break that agreement. I thought we don't have more than $30 million, just like economic development projects. To build one road alone, 1 kilometer of road costs you nearly $1 million. So have 1 kilowatt of electricity.
The opportunity for change. Now that's me to tell you. Una forget mine. Let nobody know hide behind tribe or something else. Then you go take una tell una put her inside and pocket it full up. Somebody talk about declaration of assets. Yes, we all for commit. All of us for declare we assets. Me, I believe that all of us, but not for be one person, everybody for one.
You see, even the bank said that Nigeria own them, Lebanese own them, India own them, now the Chinese don't take over now. You know what believe this? When you go, Abraham, Sierra Leone, you could really lose left back, don't be third class. You see Wilkinson Road, you go about in all them big mansions, the hotel, the foreigners that own them.
Definitely, the issue of Samura forming a coalition, for me, I'm focused on my main agenda at this moment. That is to make sure that I bring back at the ECOWAS court.
I think we have been fighting corruption in this country based on legislative pursuits, legislation. But that's one step. I call it the one-legged solution. If one addresses the issue of corruption in Serbia, we're serious about it. Those that are behind the desk of trust need to understand that they are there to serve the people, not to serve themselves.
Well, Fambulemunaroya for ourselves. Election special, Sierra Leone decides continue on this very channel. Don't forget for joining me on the 28th of January when we will provide an insight into the upcoming election at 8 p.m. on this very channel, Then and Now. This is your host and presenter, Prince Emil Koma. Thanks. Okay, so Fambulem, Fambulem at the word that unado area and for ourselves. This was 5 years ago. So there are a lot of people. Let's just digress a little bit, if I will, please, with your permission. There's a lot of people we think say, we just begin this conversation, suddenly we government change power or we power change hands. Of course, it's not the case because we get ample evidence now we archive for sure. Say we've been having a conversation. We border on Sierra Leone, not on party, not hinge on party, but on Sierra Leone. And what I think is shocked me and surprised me is the argument has become one of the idea that you are. Some people think that they own the government of the day, that they are a part and parcel of the government of the day. And as such, the definition around this is the fact that if you are a critique of the government, there's a new definition in town, a critique of the government, which means that, of course, you are opposed to the government, and opposed to the government imply that you belong to the other. And the question I ask all the time is like, where is the country? What is the argument being made? Is it in behalf of the country or in behalf of a political party? It is certain that some people make arguments in behalf of the political party and not the country. But I beg to differ that there are others who base their argument, who make their arguments strongly on the basis of country first, not political party or strongmen first. However, back to the topic for tonight, it is Sierra Leoneans go to the polls to make a decision, a sober decision, a decision that will impact the future of the country in many years to come. Because this decision in the last 5 years, and what I mean, the decisions, the way the people and way are elected eventually will take, it takes a while for it to be erased, whether it's good or bad, and it has an impact. So this program is a special elections program, once again titled Sierra Leoneans Go to the Polls. It's decision time. And unlike the video I played 5 years ago where there were a multiple pool of candidates, like the Kamarimba Mansaris of the ADP, who is now languishing in jail. Dr. Kande Yunkela, who is now talking about a strategic alliance with the ruling party, whom he said he was opposing for many years and talking about country first. Okay? Obviously, the All People's Congress, the major political party, and it happened for look like say this time around, even though we get other candidates them on the fringes, don't declare say they will be going after the presidency, such as Dr. Jonathan Sandi of the Unity Party. I can get confused between the Unity Party because I think the only female candidate, Claudius Femicole, has also got a party called the Unity Party, which is UP. And I think Dr. Jonathan Sandi's party is the UNURP, something of that kind anyway. But what will they look at now? The two major political aspirants them for the presidency from the two major political parties were happy for be Dr. Samura Kamara and the incumbent, His Excellency Julius Bio. Let's take a reflection back on me 5 years ago.
Mike Gino record is down with it. Call BNT is down with it. All the DJs they're down with it. All promoters they're down with it. Gayaiku is down with it. Blue Dolly is down with it. EBM is down with it. Ulke and Mr. Green.
Okay. Again, the video just went off, but we've come to the end of the program. Nadi, thanks for tuning in. I mean, I will have lost everybody by now, but I'm happy that you tune in. At least I've never had a chance to put in the last word to officially close the program because, again, the network was kind of playing up. But I'm happy that I've made a contribution thus far. The only thing I wanted to leave with folks was to make it clear to them that our forebearers suffered a lot, that they made some gains and contributions, and without what they did, we could not have achieved what we have done thus far. So, on this note, I want to leave you all with the wise words of Dr. Martin Luther King, that there comes a time when silence is betrayal. For the then and now, have been your host and presenter, Prince Emil Kroma, saying good night for now. Goodbye. Okay, Famulem. The thing about great leaders, great speakers, great orators is their words live after them long after they may have met their demise, don't phase out of this world, have returned to the great beyond or to the maker, whichever way you want to believe. It's fundamental, it's philosophical, and such was the person who I just quoted last, which was Dr. Martin Luther King. The same was true 5 years ago when I repeated those statements of Dr. Martin Luther King. The same is true today. The same is true back in the 1960s, going back beyond when he was in the waging campaign, up to the point when he was assassinated. That silence itself is a kind of a crime, because how would you be comfortable if something is not right? You need to speak up. So this program, obviously, is a calling program. We encourage Fambulen for call, we encourage Fambulen for share. Express your opinion. Whether you're for or against, this is what the platform is about. Everybody will be given the equal opportunity. Express their opinion and perspective, their view about the upcoming election. Who do you think will win these elections? If you think X will win the election, we would like to know, why do you think so? If you think Y will win, we equally want to know, why make you think, say, why not Ingo win the elections? Let's look at issues 5 years ago, 5 years beyond. Let's look at all of this and let's see how we Sierra Leoneans can forge a common ground for make sure, say, what we want, na Ingo eventually emerge. In other words, a better Sierra Leone, a better citizens, equal opportunities, jobs, and economic abundance, social justice. Then basic things there we belong or supposed to belong to our people. So in about 5 or 10 minutes time, I will open the lines and see whether Fambulem then go call for measure or express their opinion. And I want to make it clear as well that this program, we do want to see, 5 years ago, was a huge success. And some of the tip there I just play on us. So that was in the incumbent now, who was a candidate then, His Excellency Julius Bio. Now he lead the talk where there were questions around him overthrowing his then boss, Captain Valentine Strasser. And at that had been the answer where he say, we had an agreement. We said we were going to return to civilian rule. And we as army or soldiers, we were going to return to the barracks. If anybody, whether be it Valentine Strasser or anybody, broke their rule that day, then me, as principled as I am, I will not tolerate that. I won't stand for that. I will take action based on the promise that was made, the agreement that was reached. And that's what he was saying there. And then you can get Kamarimba, obviously, at his prime, full of exuberance, full of energy. And you heard him there saying what the Sierra Leonean people wanted to hear at the time, and genuinely, in my opinion, IMO, that when you look around, businesses are owned by foreigners. These huge businesses are owned by foreigners. Sierra Leoneans are disadvantaged in terms of the opportunity ladder. So therefore, he is the candidate. That's how he was presenting himself. But that was the case, and that was then. That was 5 years ago. 5 years on, he's not on the ballot. In fact, he's languishing in jail. Then you had Dr. Samura Kamara, obviously this powerful financial economist, financial analyst with vast number of years of experience in the foreign sector, Sierra Leone's foreign policy, Sierra Leone foreign agenda, development, interaction with foreign partners, having worked with international organizations, not just any, but the top one, them, be it the IMF, the World Bank. He's been there all. He's had this conversation with all of them. So he's known out there. He's managed economies. He is been at the forefront of the Sierra Leonean economy. I hear people that say, well, and this is now, well, manage the economy well because the economy failed. How did it fail? Have you checked his policies? And you get people, what did he do? In other words, their argument and theirs, I understand them. He built bridge, he built building. That wasn't his problem. That was not his job designation. In job designation, now for enact policies, present policies through initiation of whether a pilot study them, looking at the fundamentals all around the country. What is most needed? What is needed? By whom? For what? How long? Who will it impact? Poverty. These are the kind of things, that technocrats stroke politicians do. So their name is not stamped on anything of whether a bridge was built as a consequence of their policy, and you therefore take them for study that. So over a period of time is initiating policies that will be of some huge impact, advantage for the people for which it was designed. And this has to be well thought through because policies can be good, it can be bad. Government can initiate them, but you get for make sure say you think about them for the long term. You get for look at the capacity. Who that you try for impact? What you try for achieve? What are the objective? How long? It should be time scale. So now then kind when they you for judge people like Dr. Samura Kamara, not ask whether it been build bridge na Kamalo or build electricity. It probably did, but not to him be they go stamping authority say, well, I want a power station there. Is via policies. So that's what Sierra Leoneans need to do. So as we go into this election once more, in which Dr. Samura was on the losing end the last time, we want for let we know say the argument is becoming stronger because President Bio, the incumbent, is making claims, or at least his people are making claims that he's done well. He's done this, he's done that. I could make the argument against, and in fact, I've been making the argument against. Because, yes, you built an airport. Kudos, Mr. President. I try to avoid this, but sometimes you just have to make it known. Kudos, Mr. President. But then, what policies have you initiated? Because life is about every day. And a good president is an emblem of a good country, a good people. A bad president is an emblem of a bad country and a bad people. In other words, if the presidency they do well, the government they do well, you've got a happy people. They are doing well, they are flourishing economically because government's basic responsibility is to ensure the goodness of its citizens, the happiness of its citizens, by making provisions wherewithal in any way means possible, economically, financially, spiritually, emotionally, physically. I mean, government not the hitman. So sometimes when you say physically, emotionally, spiritually, people then go say, hey, how come spiritually not to pastor and business? Why you think say government they give pastor them free license for operate or tax free or even the subsidize ministries of God? Because they are recognized. Because this is an arm of the society where can help for massage problems with the society, so societal can encounter problems the way the society can encounter social problems. So when person go to church, all they think about now the goodness of the Lord. Hallelujah, amen. Promises, hope, and not they happen now, but there's a reason for hope. There's a reason to have faith, because eventually it may happen. But Fambulem, again, it's another digression. I love for digress, but I want to declare the lines open. The number is 077. If you're not looking at the ticker screen, the scroller screen, you go see the number there. I go put a more bigger shortly at the main screen. So when I go see them. So if you call from abroad, +44 7740107250, and locally Great Britain 770740107250. You can also call me on WhatsApp, just for reduced charges and cost. So family, once again, this is the CNN TV Media Empire. My name is Prince Emil Kroma. Today is the 20th of April 2023, and we are having a conversation on the election. It's not a great number that's watching now. We've got 33 watching, and I hope so we go share this. There is no reason for let you to watch, and I don't even know how this, but the platform is open. Nobody know the tailor you view. It's what do you think about the elections coming? Do you think that President Bio should be voted back into power? If you don't think so, then obviously you might be thinking that Samura Kamara should be voted into power. Whichever way you choose, would you want to state to the Sierra Leonean people as to why this now your choice for being the next president of Sierra Leone, be it President Bio, the incumbent, vote him back in, on which basis? Or you want a change in Dr. Samura, whichever way, let's hear from you. So ladies and gentlemen, the lines are open. Feel free to call. We'll be hosting all this call.
We said we are going to hand over. And if Captain Strasser decides to change his mind, and I'm part of that group, I was not ready to be a part. Two of you have an interest that is inimical to the interest of this nation. I will not follow you. Even if we have agreed, I will break that agreement.
Say that we don't have more than $30 million just for economic development projects. To build one road alone, 1 kilometer of the road costs nearly $1 million. To have 1 kilowatt of electricity.
The opportunity for change. Now that's me to tell una. Una forget mine. Let nobody know hide behind tribe or something else. Then you go take una bell una put her inside and pocket it full up. Somebody talk about declaration of assets. Yes, we all for commit. All of us for declare we assets. Me, I believe that all of us, but not for be one person, everybody for one.
Nigeria own them, Lebanese own them, Indian own them, now the Chinese don't take over now. You know, believe this, when you go, Ibrahim, Sierra Leone, you could really know, say, we Sierra Leoneans, them, we don't left back, we don't be third class. You see Wilkinson Road, you go up and all them big mansions, the hotel, now foreigners, they own them.
Definitely, the issue of Samura forming a coalition, for me, I'm focused on my main agenda at this moment. That is to make sure that I bring back justice for the people of Sierra Leone at the ECOWAS court.
I think we have been fighting corruption in this country based on legislative procedures, legislation. But that's one step. I call it the one-legged solution. If one address the issue of corruption in Sierra Leone, it's serious about it. Those that are behind the desk of trust need to understand that they're there to serve people, not to serve themselves.
Well, Famulem Unaroya decides to continue on this very. So again, Famulem, that was me about 5 years ago. In fact, 5 years ago, not about 5 years ago. And we've been taking the and when it happened, this is why educators, educationists, then take time in saying that you can just try to give them credit. You don't have to give them 100% credit, but at least some credit. Anyway, that was me 5 years ago, and 5 years on, we are within that same square, that same circle. We are going back into elections. A little bit of a difference this time. There is not this huge pool of presidential. For now, let me look at waiting for Dr. Samura Kamara then. All right, suddenly we've experienced a freeze there. I don't know exactly what's going to go on. We experienced 1 or 2 messages then. I think the timeline got a bit mixed up. But this one, just 1 or 2, that does not stop others from watching, because a lot of people did say quite a few things about it put out then. Let me read a few messages then and see whether we will get anybody calling. Yeah, and this is the thing, by the way. So George Orwell, many thanks, Mr. Orwell. George Orwell is a regular listener, and we go, like for say, a friend of the platform. George, if you're watching, obviously you've got opinions, very strong ones that I've seen in the past. I wonder whether you're not able to call the platform and let the platform, and let's have an engagement on what your thoughts are. It's about 1 or 2 minutes call. But many thanks for your usual sentiments to the platform. When is Africanist Press coming back to the show? George Orwell. George Orwell is a huge fan of the Africanist Press. I've got no engagement with the Africanist Press for now for Brian come on, but it's really important because he's a man in the know, and these are critical times, and this not in domain, need for weigh in, and etc. But I will promise you that I will try for be in touch with him soon, and then we go arrange something, here for Brian come on. But I believe that the brother is well and kicking and still strong and still expressing thoughts out there and etc. etc. Yeah. But yeah, definitely I will be in touch because it's absolutely right that we try for Brian Kanla Yeri waiting instead for say. Mr. Peter Dauda, please stop provoking the people of Sierra Leone who already know that these two parties do not represent real change. Again, Mr. Peter Dauda is a critique of the platform, which we appreciate. The critique used to be very, very negative because it was imbalanced. There's no need to hide that. He knows that. I've said it many times publicly. But lately, the brother, and this is not my first time saying it, probably 3 or 4 different times, he's taking a different turn, a different twist in which what he's articulating is beyond my comprehension. Beyond my comprehension in the sense, not that it doesn't make sense, but you know when somebody can do 360, because 360 is a dangerous move. One moment you go so, and then suddenly you make a turn. That's what I'm trying to say. But we appreciate that. Many thanks. I don't think I'm trying to provoke the people of Sierra Leone. The issue here is we are providing information to the people, for the people, so that choices that they may make will be based on one that is very much informed. Jans, many thanks, Jans. Okay, we get a brother watching from Holland. That's Mr. Abubakar Mansare. He is a Dutch Sierra Leonean author. He's authored a book called The Allegory of Zangola. We don't encourage Fambulen for Bayam for many different things. One is solidarity to a brother. You buy the book. The book is very, very interesting. I won't say much. Very interesting. The setting, the background was used. Like I say again, I won't say much, but you really need for Bayam for these reasons. It's a good read, and then it's from a brother. Okay, I think George Orwell been try for correct me now because I've been suffer from calling the full initials of the party belonging to Dr. Jonathan Sandi, which is the NURP, the National Unification something for that. The two Laga a submission, a very brilliant submission. Ahmed Koroma. Hello, Ahmed Kamara. Hello, Brother Prince. Good to see you, and thanks for the good work. Many thanks. But we want for engage you now. Yeah, Badamasi. If you want for partake, okay, I will send you. Okay, I will send you the link. Now I understand. You don't want to call, you want to participate. So I'll send you the link shortly. Yeah, I'll send you the link shortly. Okay. So this is Yans based on the common consensus of the people of Sierra Leone. Oh, Yans. Anyway, why people let me try for read that? Let me see whether I'm able to get me brother onto the show. Yeah, Emmanuel, no worries. I'll try to send you the link now so that you can join me on the show. This is supposed to be a very short one. A very short one. Emmanuel?
Hello.
Yeah, no worries. Make us send you the link because you call directly on the line. Usai, we do the live stream.
Well, I don't know because we put on you asking a Jazzy and this.
Okay. Well, I'll bring you live. Absolutely. I'll send you the link now shortly. Okay, then. Thanks. I mean, live streaming is very, very interesting. Let me be really honest about this. Very, very interesting. And let me try for bring me brother come on. Yeah. Let me try for bring me brother come on. Yeah. Let me try for bring me brother come on, and then we can take him from there. It's all interesting. Always interesting for get them on streaming browser based on live. Okay, it looks a little bit different, but let's see. He should be able to get this and come on. And this is not a long program. So one thing, you have Sierra Leoneans that can express themselves. And then suddenly when it comes to time for taking the bull by the horn, we kind of shy away. But Kuman will make noise. Then take them picture away. In fact, then put fake names. But then they go challenge the people and we put a face and a name, to a broadcast or something. But then go shy away by using aliases and etc. And in the end, doesn't work out well, does it? Well, let me listen again to this quickly. Ask Dr. Samura Kamara. Remember when they ask him, you sabi, when they ask people, you sabi him? But at the same time, we get Brother Yansians na the screen. We see a big chance of, but if there's not a level playing field, if the president cannot solve the economic problems right now, citing Russia and Ukraine, citing Russia, I believe in the try for say, and Ukraine, what can he do differently if voted for whilst the war is still going on? The brother make a very critical point right there. On if the issue into the Sierra Leonean people as a consequence of the rise in food, suffering of many other things, then rises of the prices of goods and services, then the accused or the accusation na Ukraine are irresponsible. I mean, Ukraine and Russia war are irresponsible. And then the war still they go on and people be alleviated. I think the brother made a good point. Let's see. Hi, Prince. From your Dovecourt sister, born Bombay Street. My mom was doing a business in Dovecourt. Wow, goodness me. This sister just carried me back. And this is like a surprise to me, which means that this sister knows me. This sister knows me. This is really a surprise to me, and I've gotten a bit emotional. Yes, born Dovecourt, Guard Street. And this is like many, many decades ago. I born during the time we train they run, we the station, na Dovecourt, na they did the last station. I born during the time where we get dog police where they wear brown khaki torses, brown socks, long ones or hooves, like football hooves, and then get a thick like koboko, and then get a omolanke, but a smaller one for cage dog and put them inside because these people were trained. And further down na Dovecourt, they mean get the place outside the dog then and Okuru dog them all fine dog, just like how you can see any sign in America, England, Germany, Holland, fine dog them. But there was a law, and the law is forget a dog, and especially if that dog get for stray away from your compound, because it's a likelihood that the dog will come on and do from your compound if you get compound. Most houses then being get compound, not necessarily get for be a high built fence compound, cement or pan, no, stone or just flowers can form your compound, a fence. But you dog get forget collar. You get forget collar. Then you get dog food. You go Choitram and other places. I don't remember the other supermarkets them and go buy dog food for your dog. We had well-to-do people driving fine cars, the Hillmans, the I don't forget the other cars them, but Hillman left me because me uncle being get one. And few other cars, them driving powerful and fine cars. And then your dog get forget collar. If your dog not get collar, then they apprehend that dog there and they come go down to the dog detention center, and you go for your dog and you get for pay for get your dog out. Sister Lucretia, my contact number, I will put it on the screen shortly. Please get in touch. I go like for let we talk about Dovecourt a little bit. Bombay, of course. I remember Bombay because I go Holy Trinity School from the humble beginnings. Holy Trinity Nursery, Holy Trinity Primary from class 1, 2, 3, I believe 4, and then go Cathedral Boys School 5, 6, 7, seat selective. Yeah, many thanks for that. I'm Abubakar Mansare. Yeah, thanks, Brother Prince. Okay, I just wait for let the brother join in so we go have a conversation. I don't get 1 or 2 calls, say people do not see the number. The number still is scroll across, but I just put on specifically na the screen. Wadiki Williams. Yeah. Okay, need for bring this brother on. Hello, Mr. Williams. Yes, sir. How are you? You are aware say we did live now the program now you want to contribute to, sir? Yeah, oh yeah, I'm good.
How are you?
I'm good. Now the program now you want to contribute
with your program.
Sorry, sir. Say that again, please.
Sure. No, I just want to see idea online.
Oh, okay. And I shall say you would like for contribute, but what if you can turn the? I'm not saying they watch the program simultaneously, but just turn the volume down to 0. Hang on, Wadi. Hang on, Wadi. Hang on, Wadi. Hang on. Wadi, hang on. Turn you. I'm not saying they watch the program simultaneously, but all I go ask you for do turn the volume down to 0. Because they interfere with what you talk. You go watch them later, go send you a clip later. And now that's gone to 0. Okay, I think, Wadi, are you there? Okay, I lost Wadi briefly. Okay, I think we'll go Emmanuel on the line. Yeah. So the man, he go where, he see me away, me Arsenal shot.
Yes, of course.
So he go where shot. Well, no worries at all, Emmanuel. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, today on the 20th of April 2023, we talk about critical things that will happen in our country. And one of the most critical is having an election where they upcome very, very soon. And obviously, the lines are open for people and for call and registered and view. We get now a member of the opposition just called earlier on, Wadiki Williams. But of course, we lost him. But I sure say go call back. I mean, just while we know say back in the watch. But right here with me now the studio, as soon as I can see now on the screen, is another media pundit, a very clever man, high opinion.
Sir.
Welcome again to the program, and I want to say thank you very much for tuning in. It's good way the country call for representation in terms of voice, being vocal, regardless of where you are. The country is very, very important, and taking this opportunity for can have a conversation with the Sierra Leonean people is something that I really appreciate. So you are,
yeah, I'm also.
And when they talk about thank you. Who that get for win? Who that not get for win? And why? Who that get for win? And why? What's your thought? Let me hear it from you first of all before I decide for opine going further, please.
Yeah, sorry once more again. I come. Just have me just 1 minute or 2 minutes. They said something. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm so sorry about that. Yeah. Okay. I think it's good. Okay. I'm so sorry. Sorry about that. I set the camera.
Okay.
Okay, you can come again with your question. Very sorry. Yes. Okay.
No, stay there. Hold your thoughts. Let's take some calls. You
okay.
All or responses on.
Hello.
Yeah, hi there. It's
I just want to contribute to the question we pose.
Okay, so a quick before you go forward. Before you go forward, my dear sister, what are your name and who are you the call from, please? Hello. Oh, you hear me? Okay, I'll go get for hang up on you and then you call back because we don't lost you. This if you want for make a call or you listen to the program at the same time, okay, she's calling again. Hello. Hello? Okay, 301 now. I've been there a couple of times, and I get familiar with that area code. So just to really try for call from Maryland, please try for call again. We really want for Yeri from you. Please try for call again. We go take your call. In the meantime, Fambulem, we get Emmanuel, the rising sun, a day between at the program now, and this is a very important program. Like I say, we want for Emmanuel. This is not a question, Emmanuel. It's just you go. What you would expect is election time, and basically your general view.
Thank you very much. I just want thank you for the opportunity where you give me. I see you put on you Arsenal jersey, not because you put on the Arsenal jersey. Like I go on for me Manchester jersey. The screen there before me as we talk. Then they try for pass me a small. They watch the United game where they about for comments now. But again, I haven't said all this. I want to say plenty thank you to you. Yes.
Yeah, carry
Hello.
on. This is the problem, man. We need for you. Yeah, Emmanuel, carry on.
Oh, having said that, I want to say plenty thank you to you. Now as it is, I don't know if you like go mean me take really about me take a perspective about this election. And if so be it, I want to be optimistic here in the realistic manner that Dr. Matthew Wilson Samura Kamara of the Mighty All People's Congress, the APC, is going to emerge the winner of these elections come June 24th inside this year 2023 into the general elections we get for happen or occur in the Republic of Sierra Leone. Dr. Matthew Wilson Samura Kamara is going to be the president of the Republic of Sierra Leone after June 24th. We then go on collate all the results then, and by virtue of the 1991 Constitution under its Article 32 by its subsections, then we give the Electoral Commission the right for make it go do short an announcement or declaration having Dr. Samura Kamara satisfy all those needs and the criteria of that elections will be announced the winner of that elections after June 24 this year 2023.
Nicely put, Emmanuel. So let me look at the two candidates then potentially we get for stand for this election. Everything to an advantage His Excellency Julius Bio and Dr. Wilson Samura Kamara. Again, in your view, what do you think set apart these two candidates?
Okay. Thank you very much. It's many things, but for just measure few into those things, then we set them apart or we create the differences or make them so differ from each other. One, it takes what we call the honesty or truth. For many a times, Dr. Matthew Wilson Samura Kamara only exemplify to we or practice within we call the truth or be honest or reality to Sierra Leoneans then before he even the camp. We don't see a debate wasted by that country day. That debate was staged by the AYV and others them were being concerned. And Dr. Matthew Wilson Samura Kamara and I been get for make one of the honesty or sincerity to Sierra Leoneans them openly by the interviewer or the moderator of that program, him asking Dr. Matthew Wilson Samura Kamara, how you feel when you see all those things they happened. He say, as a government, we take the full responsibility. We take everything that's happened, so we put the blame on government. Some people been frowned at, some people been said this, but that is when you look at people, we're really ready and want to take the mantra of leadership, how honest they are, how truthful they are, by them acknowledging those mistakes, those odds or those errors, them acknowledging them and take the responsibility and take the blame, say, you know what, this happened. We take it at the end of the day, we are going to work on it, but it's not a puppy show business. That now one. Then you look at other thing again where they talk about the administrative skills, the administrative quality, the administrative know-how, the knowledge, the skills. How this person is capable enough, how this person get the experience, how this person get the knowledge, how this person has been practicing it. Not only say you get the administrative knowledge, but how have you been putting these things into practicality? How have you been working?
Yeah, hold the line, Emmanuel. Hold the line. Yeah, we get a caller. We've been persistent in calling. Let's hear what this caller have to say. So, sister. If you can state your name and who you call from, and then you can make your points, please.
Hello?
Yes, you need for turn. I know say you watch the program simultaneously. You need for turn down the volume of which you watch I'm on and just focus now, yeah?
Okay, so my name
Agnes. Okay. And you the call from Usai?
Hello?
Yes, you name Agnes and you the call from Usai. Agnes, you hear me? We don't lost time again. Continue, Emmanuel.
Yeah, so as I will tell you about the administrative skills, it's not all about saying, okay, it's something that you have in the book by people calling you doctor, by people calling you these names, but it's about your practicality. How best? Because these are the things one way I can consider about education. Say for me, education is not all about a classroom. You go sit down at the classroom. It's what you acquire and how best you're able to bring and come into practicality and transform them into many lives and let it be a sustainable something when I positive things for the general goods or the general needs or want. That is Dr. Matthew Wilson Samura Kamara. He get the knowledge, he get the idea. He has all what is stake, has been many years working with the international community when it comes to the national development issues, when it comes to monetary issues, when it comes to growth and developmental issues in the Republic of Sierra Leone. His name is written in every sectors, in everywhere you can find these things about development, national issue, finance, and everything. Dr. Matthew Wilson Samura Kamara, in name, a day into it, yeah. Then again, you look at this thing where they call, say, the apprenticeship quality. Most time, why some people in the field, I want to say this out there to people, and Mr. Prince, I will say, like, for say this, because people not get the apprenticeship know-how. Not mean say, if I come, I allow Mr. Prince here for use me as Emmanuel, that means I'm an underdog. It's not possible. You know why? It's because Emmanuel has great potentials, or Emmanuel gets something in Ramway very good, when maybe in or you don't see this thing, but how can he use this thing? How can he utilize this thing where this thing will be beneficiary for all? So you have to go through the process of which we call the apprentice process. Dr. Matthew Wilson Samura Kamara, he has attained or attest to all this quality as a good apprenticeship. Can you remember back days in the days of the APC? Can you remember back days in the days of the SLPP, the late President Ahmed Tijan Kabal, blessed memory? How best you work with him? When today as an apprentice or as a team player, you measure, say, the NASIT, you measure the GST, which is not the GST, sorry, you measure this, yes, the GST is also there. You measure the PRSP, which is the Poverty Reduction Strategy paper. You cannot talk about it without measure Dr. Matthew Wilson Samura Kamara as an apprentice or as a team player into it. The GST, which is the Goods and Services Tax, you cannot measure our economy, you cannot measure this thing today when they say the NASIT. You cannot talk about the NASIT as a team player or as an apprentice where Dr. Matthew Wilson Samura Kamara be. You not talk about Dr. Matthew Wilson Samura Kamara. You cannot measure against, say, oh, okay, this man is an apprentice. You don't talk about him through this thing where we they call today, say, the Anti-Corruption Commission itself. These are one of the architects that we sit down and play that great role as an architect for make we able to get all these government institutions where today they are there in the country as a sustainable institution today where they do good in the Republic of Sierra Leone, but bad government now they use it as a bad thing or twist hand arm or make that thing where you say the 90-degree or 70-degree of that U-turn against the good people into that country. Lastly, you cannot measure about democracy, Mr. Prince, as an apprentice without you measure Dr. Matthew Wilson Samura Kamara say this man has not been playing role into the democracy of that country. Since the time where the war, the people in the fire gun at each other when we begin the rebel war, the international community not believe nobody when he been there as a team there as an apprentice. They sent him to Sierra Leone, say, go back to your country. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, okay, Manuel, many thanks for that. I want to hold your thoughts today. We will come right back to you. We got another caller on the line. Hopefully this one go through. And who's the call from, please? Hello, caller. Hello. What's going on with all our callers now?
I call from Netherlands.
What's your name again?
Maybe you have to change the back screen, because sometimes it can look the back screen can make the
Yes,
processor how
you name and who's the call from quickly, and then you can go ahead with what you want to say, please.
Samura Kamara, I call from Netherlands.
Okay. And your contribution?
Yeah. Well, my contribution towards this coming election, one, we just want to think about the country, and we think.
Emmanuel, you hear the guest?
Yes, I hear you now, but he low.
Okay.
The country. Secondly, we think of district level. One, like Dr. Samura Kamara gets all the potential for being a president of that country. He will be a better president. Because if you check in track record, that the only season in the history of Sierra Leone, for let we get somebody where they aspire for this kind of position as president, we don't serve most of the key sectors them in terms of government. And all the key sectors and the way Dr. Samura don't serve as a politician, now he side way to bring developments to the country. I believe say he gets now the know-how, he get the experience, even though if he put somebody this he will sit down in office, he don't know say mistake will happen here and that. Straight off, he will go in and correct that mistake because of which he don't know that feeling. He don't know how they therefore operate there. And secondly, we think about the competition between the two political parties there. Now we just for the team first, but districts and regional level, right? We Sierra Leoneans and think of yourself. Say, well, now think about your own district where you don't live, for where you don't live, where you get experience for. Like me, I will take an example for Kwenadugu, Kabbalah to be specified. Since in the history of Sierra Leone, then two political parties here, both APC and SLPP, the whole of Kwenadugu and Falaba district. The whole of Kwenadugu and Falaba districts, we don't go point finger, but anything when a government developmental project what we get through the SLPP government, one in Odi. One we not get both Kwenadugu and Falaba districts.
Okay.
We not get some. You think about the APC, would they able to point the point? Bam. Now that districts they will go say this. Now under these governments in ruling, now we get then developmental. Under these governments, now we get them developmental things there. So like this particular election, now referendum.
Okay. Okay.
For the thing, but the two government now it make we happy one way or the other where the government change. Because even where our next video work, we don't be the see in work. Now where government change, we don't know say as to use one proverb say, they say the angel.
Okay.
So the devil we don't see. Better
pass the devil you don't see. I want to say
don't say that angel labor, he better pass the devil you don't see.
Okay. Okay, brother. I want for
angel person in this year. So the proverb and they not something like material.
Okay, brother. I want to say thank you very much to your contribution. We get more people than we wait, here for call. And I want to take you sentiment where you express to the guest with you on the program. Emmanuel, this election is a referendum, according to the caller, and based on tangible then wait time at a point in time. Clearly, he sounds like an APC, supporter, but if they talk about substance, things the way you see, touch, and what have you. But if they say this election is a referendum, your thoughts, please.
I don't know. Maybe I just want for Diffasi. He's for me. I don't know how you waiting at the yardstick of that's your justification of him being an APC supporter. But I go look come from this way, say, is that of a concerned Sierra Leonean, even though it ain't at the Netherlands, it feel the hits back home in the Republic of Sierra Leone, it feel all those things the way they happen to people and back home in the Republic of Sierra Leone, it feel all those political gimmicks, this tribal sentiment, regional sentiment, lie, deceit, and hate by this SLPP government when they don't bring can. So I go consider him as one of the genuine Sierra Leonean, and that's of a Sierra Leonean way, concern and meaningful Sierra Leonean, where he in thought way that thought they now a very good thought as you say. Indeed, I want to agree with them with some reason say yes, with some reason say these elections, yes, indeed say I mean it's that kind of a referendum elections. But again, this is an elections to save lives in the Republic of Sierra Leone. It's an election for save somebody for committing a suicide. Because if you give Maada Bio another 5 years again for go as an administrative officer or the executive officer of the Republic of Sierra Leone, then the people commit suicide to themselves with all those things, them shenanigans, evil and bad deeds, then we'll see where they happen back home. So indeed, some reasons I will say, yes, it's a referendum. Now, we don't take it to the people, and God has given us the opportunity, and the Electoral Commission self will get that responsibility, all right? Self don't give you the opportunity to say, let people and come out, they don't go take the voter ID card. Well, it's part of the referendum now, for let people begin see a reason say, you come again?
Okay, Emmanuel. No, Emmanuel, we get a second caller quickly. Let me just take a call. See what's going on. Okay, caller, you name and who's you call from, please?
I come from United States. I tried to call WhatsApp, but WhatsApp not looking up fine, so I decided to call a regular call.
Well, we appreciate that, which means that it's very serious. Thank you so much. Your points, please.
So, before 2019, I'll not be interested or follow Sierra Leone politics at all. But because of the thing that we don't happen, I find out say they become more sucked into Sierra Leone politics and anything that way they go on at the country. I will say I'm against voting for President Bio back for several reasons.
Okay.
President Bio come and not get, it seems like he not come for govern. With everything we say, everything we promise will be the campaign, it may seem like not possibly ready for govern, but then come, they're clueless. And I think say the one thing we not help him, he's not a listening president. Even if you come, you're not ready, but if you take waiting people, then they say it's a consideration, then you go able to move ahead. But I can say from everything we don't do, he does not care. Secondly, for me, now the opposition, the way he oppresses people, beaucoup of we where they comment on social media, we go into self-exile. We can't go there. Everything changed when you go salon. 2018, I was there. You then so Jaman and then I push the point on them a street. Now they hold them and they go upline. Why? And thirdly, he has said with everything that's going on, he cannot protect the people of Sierra Leone.
That's true.
Why should we give you another 5 years?
Yeah.
And everything where they go on, you're not doing anything to mitigate and always they go on or for even say, okay, now we try for put measures in place. So for those reasons, it seems like he does not care. He's cold-hearted. He don't kill plenty people them. The things where they do, they talk to the people them. He's not fit to get another 5 years.
Okay.
That's alone. Now come to Dr. Samura. Dr. Samura, if anybody ever get the chance for interact with her, you will see many reasons why we should give him a chance. Okay? First of all, the man is very competent. Second of all, the man is very disciplined. He has compassion. If you interact with him, you will know. He got compassion. And I feel say Sierra Leone need a disciplined person, but also somebody will get empathy. And that's what I think, that's the big thing for me that Dr. Samura has. Besides that, he will come and try for fix the economy as much as he able and try for fix one or two things, but I can tell that he is somebody that listens. I attended his town hall when he came to Washington. Okay? He came to Washington, I attended his town hall. he takes notes. He takes notes them in the light and he respond according to what people they ask him. And he even said, if you come Naya today, you can donate for me campaign, yes, but wait till I come for our ideas. I want to hear from Una. I want to hear from Sierra Leone people them. Those are the kind of leader West Alone need right now. You can be tough, but you also got to and I get people love him.
Okay.
And you have to be human. Dr. Samura, so me, I say, let's give Dr. Samura a chance. Dr. Samura chance. Thank you very much.
We really appreciate you call, my dear sister Agnes. Many, many thanks for the effort. At least you got your point across. And I go take your point. I know say the guest will help me for co-host the program, listen to you keenly, and we will take every the guest clearly, I believe.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you and goodbye. You heard the guest clearly. She drew a contrast between the incumbent and Dr. Samura Kamara. The picture we paint, where she paint is, to me, of course, in my opinion, one human, both human, but one more human and the other one less human, especially in the political, realm. And he also say, like the incumbent, don't admit, and 2 or 3 people that don't make this comment here today, don't admit, say, well, I failed my nation. And while you get for deliver on waiting the guest just say, but if somebody, for example, were to say, in leadership, I have failed the nation, I have failed my people, waiting I can't wrap my head around is, why would I be asking them, to offer me another chance? And even if I ask them, what are my chances, Emmanuel?
You see, that the scamming we talk about. This is all about scamming, Sorry, we just don't suffer one big blow. But anyway, it is what it is. We're going, man. Yeah. This is not the scamming way we talk about in the politics. You already are aware that you fail. And for waiting the caller say, she's absolutely right. I agree with in many reasons that she's absolutely right. With all those statements, then I can always look at the Bio statement, say, these are statements like when somebody, you get an empty house or an empty structure, you just get a golden window curtain, then you put that golden window curtain, somebody they pass out there, the curtain will flash as if there's something inside that house, you understand me, where we can call, say, the window shopping. But at the end of the day, there is nothing inside in that house. This is the administration we get, and this is the type of leader we get. You understand? We say, there's nothing he can do about the economy. And to be sincerely enough to you, we live now the West here. When a leader makes short a statement, trust me, that sounds as a reckless statement. I'm sorry for saying this one. I don't know how you might look at it, but the reckless is that when say these are your responsibility, you frown away from them, you move away from them deliberately, say this they happened, then that's recklessness. So this is the type of leader where we get in tell who say he not able to do anything about it. You understand? He not get no way for pushing. And the same way me and you two they live today, Mr. Prince, you gotta agree with me. Say when you talk about government, we're responsible, a responsible government. Yeah, everything I listen to your premise or introduction say. They put and say the Ukraine. Trust me, we where they are, the Ukraine, they hit, we pass them where they Africa. Nobody will take it from us. Last time, if you're gonna go to now, you go look for egg people and they kill for egg. Egg not there or this, them not there. But here, government not the lay emphasis on Ukraine, on this, on that. When a responsible government, they waiting and they do, they make sure say, then they try for cushion the suffering, the strain, and what we they call say alleviate that kind of a pain, the constraints into the lives of the people. Make sure say they're able for strategize. Make sure say they're able for bring those things them we go able for less the burden and pain into the people. But this is a government we tell we say, oh, I listen to the press secretary, Mr. Prince. Can you imagine? Sandy they tell we, Keketoma Sandy go tell we say, well, when you look at Kenya, you look at Ghana, we now get the less commodities, the cheap. How dare you they make crook statement, lie and scam statement to the people of that country? Oh yes, you know why Ghana they know they feel the pain. You know why the people in the Kenya where they measure say they feel the pain, because sometimes when people feel this pain, then they get them into them as something we go monitor them, they want to voice them out. But Mr. Prince, tell me, from last year back to now, or 2 years ago, when we talk about the 1965 Public Order Act, we deal with the seditious libel, diplomatic statements, and all these things. Then come them pull and they say, wait, we don't get the cyber criminal crime law into the country. You understand me? This cyber criminal crime law today, they trample up on the speech, the rights, the human rights qualities, yeah? The people given rights by God Almighty and that of the states. It has been taken away from them by the states. Sierra Leonean now, if you go today, maybe it's a you go Allah say, the president don't fail we. The president don't like we. This government don't like we. What would be the next? Trust me, you have a precedent, you have a something like Zainab Sharif where they just don't pull out from CID then and where they just detain her. You understand me?
Yeah, hold the line, please. Emmanuel, we got another caller. If you will hold the line, please. Caller, you can just state your name and who side you call from, please. Hello, caller.
Yeah, please, Mr. Yeah, this is Ahmed. I call from UK. Ahmed.
Yeah, Ahmed, go ahead and make your point, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Please. Anyway, good to see you. It's been a while, though.
Thank you very much.
Yes, I really love to see you any now and then. I hope you can get time, but I can understand. You know, I want for just contribute a bit, and I want to agree with Emmanuel, the guest you have, and then just my sister. We just don't talk previously. You know, he make some very brilliant points. Actually, analysis is fine as well. You know, Mr. Please, to be fair with you, some of we know the country we cut across. So people then cut across north, south, east, west. Of course, some of who grow up at the western area, go to school, go to university. Well, people all come from various parts of the country, be it Kono now, Chongo, Kaila, Uchebima, come all the areas. So, and that's how we got friends, you know, that cut across the country, you know, and we will live a very decent life in those days and not too recent when we grew up with the 90s. You know, it'd be fine actually. We don't get too far of the cops here. But today, for me as a young man, when I look at Maada Bio, actually, from since when in take power, I get problem now in London with Fatima Bio, even in brother, Jim. We nearly fed one fed in East Street. This guy, when I coordinate, you know, houseman, when you know, so when they make drugs business, and I know they get natty and they loot money, we bobo then can who only meets them body. You know, we know them. So imagine that. For me, Maada Bio not to be good leader at all. You know, people they will get for blame. The Leonean people, they're so naive. I don't know if not stupidity I can say, because how on earth did they go give somebody like Maada Bio leadership? Where this guy no ever be councillor, you know, be nothing, you know, get anything absolutely the way get that kind of leadership background from the army. Go look at the army, how you claim up to be that rank when you be so. You know, then you kill that kind of person, and beside the loot money, you run away, you go, you destroy him, you come back. Again, that person come back, see, with all facts, you know, manifesto with the right, you know, power pass along with better people and buy into the idea. You know, you go for look at leadership, somebody, you look at the qualities of a leader. You know, development, it has somebody, you know, now something where, you know, now oriented something, therefore get somebody in the right mind for make a pursue development. You know, if you look at this guy in career, for me, I don't feel say that the right person at that moment actually for make a leader for run the country. Now, the same, no doubt, I would see so today. Now then, the policy the way they bring, and they all no work for them. Look how many people and they die. Look how many people in there are prison today. Young man them. For which reason? Just minor crimes. Where then guy will find them, make them come back, make them work for society, make society develop. But look at it. LNJ 9 years for what? It's not a criminal offense. You know, it's still civil matters. Look, yesterday, for instance, Zainab Sharif, this lady just talk. Now, social media condemn from Tijan Kabai, talk about this. He's still in the CI. He's still in prison, they don't they arrest him. Why listening at the kind of people who say, who don't repeal the criminal libel law? Oh, come on. I can't understand that. So
okay.
It's not actually.
Okay, Mr. Ahmed. Mr.
Yes.
Ahmed. So again, you make quite a good case there, and these things are really true. We see them out there, we read about them. So it's not like you're making them up. So one question is, what do you think about 2023? Because I see you get emotionally worked up there. And do you have any question for the co-host Emmanuel Rising-Son, where you go on for the address?
Yeah, well, actually, Emmanuel, I can listen most of the programs as well. Although sometimes people can look at us say because my critics of this present government. But for me, I look at it in a surrounding perspective. Actually, for me, some of the things that they say, they're right. If not all, but most of them are right. For me, actually, 2023, I just wish that the people them better put on some braveness and make them do the right thing. I don't know Samura much more, but I follow. But like if I look at her, I look at say now man he down and he respectful. I think he has God in his heart. He get that kind of fear somebody, we get that kind of fairness, like he gets passion for people. And when I follow, when they play some of the dates back all of from the debates which he talk, he really lie, not true. He mentions some fact things about people not be the see. You know, people will not be really ready for listen to what this man be. If we pay attention to that, believe me, if I that kind of Western society, I will see, we not to say in a crowd, people they know the talk at television, people they analyze every day. Like when you analyze some of the leaders, because some of who they follow, some of who are not able to film followers and this, we look at day-to-day happening in the world. Okay. They follow politics and they are abroad, we follow broad things and we see leadership, we see the quality. When Obama and some of these other guys, when they talk, they see that these are leaders, these are great people. But for me, actually, I think maybe people can look at, because for now, let's say now the two parties are no more now. Either Maada Bio or Samura. I think Samura is the time for it, they make a way out. But in terms of leadership, and we look at all of these qualities and look at what actually, if you look at it trajectory, when we look at them, the resume, you know, I think Samura they far way above Maada Bio in terms of leadership quality, far away.
Okay.
So for me, I think say Moko gain if people really follow, Moko not try for tribalize and politicize things. Moko just look at for the right person. They won't look at somebody we see this person. We will look at things even academically and look at all of the work office ethics them.
Okay, Brother Ahmed.
Yes,
many thanks for your points. And let me take all of this that you've said, even though I know say the co-host hang on to every word we see because I can watch and listen attentively. But let me just take to Ram. Emmanuel, your thoughts?
You know, like the brother man just said, the brother man, I think he did the right point with me as I start by saying all these things, because by virtue of it, you see, I want to thank God for the lives of Sierra Leoneans and especially with the youth then. The reason why now, because the way how we don't come into politics, it's so huge that every youth now of Sierra Leone politics and the growth or development of the Republic of Sierra Leone, our beloved country, it don't become a great concern now today. And I will tell you now, a great youth, now youth like me, no more maybe one age difference or waiting between me and into. But first time, believing me, like this program where you call, you go, you read the old man in voice, the echo on the phone, you know. But all my youth that they call, this tell you how the youth, they're angry. One foresee we transform Sierra Leone, one foresee how best we can able for make Sierra Leone be not all in all like Usai within the West, but for make we see Sierra Leone match up or begin from moving some of the ideologies, then some of the developmental things, then within Patiasu now the globe. And for Dr. Matthew Wilson, Samura Kamara, I'm side with that of Maada Bio. I agree with him 103% as in far living the last time in the past elections result way that one day it's so unsatisfactory for we leave the many doubt or leave Sierra Leoneans them in limbo say that elections the result was not free and fair its outcome. Yeah, I agree with him. When you look at Maada bill, you look that of Dr. Matthew Wilson, Samura Kamara. It's not a rocket science. You understand? It's not rocket science, but this is reality. The first thing when I start with here, the brother man, I don't know, maybe he not been listening before, but he come now way now a good follower of your program. He come and also that's how they say he lay and then fast see on waiting have been done to say, and the woman self come here, he lay emphasis waiting we read the sister talk. One, we have to look to this administrative quality, the leadership skill, administrative skills, not only that, but how best you don't put them into practicality. And compare Maada Bio is just one kind somebody will get a military background. He gets a military touch. You understand me? Then what is it to write home about with all these things? Nothing, absolutely. The only thing is negativity, that of gross human rights violations, constitutional bastardizations, the disrespect of the rule of law in Sierra Leone. Somebody talk, then put you in a prison. Somebody this, then put you under, then hold you, then jail you. This is what they happen in our country. Not today, government will go tell we say, okay, we don't develop yonder. Mr. Prince, tell me. Then we ask Sierra Leoneans them today. I know say we get a relative, at least you premise. When you are so emotional, somebody called you from Bombay and say, oh, Mr. Prince, now you've been there and that's Garden Bombay, you, Mama, Sabi, and we all been there together. You are so emotional with it. I know say many people them know you. Within that locality as well, when at Bombay. Ask this question today. We talk about the free quality education. How many children are benefiting from this free quality education? With all those huge millions of dollars sponsored by the United States of America, the Irish AIDS, and other developmental partners, then we don't sponsor we country. Then they talk about this free quality education gets food. Ask Nana Bombay, they say, do ya? That part outside the train be they go put them blind them. Remember outside you say that police, the thing they ask, begin them must stay within that circular. Begin them must stay within that environment or community or locality. Ask how many of them are beneficiary to the school feeding. Ask how many of them are beneficiary to the school feeding. Call and ask how many of them are beneficiary to it today with this government. This is a blatant fail. These are all just coming. The question today, where are this money going to? Then this president not afraid, God Almighty, not afraid the people of that country, they can ask back, say, if you don't fail, give me another time for like a repeat. That's an insult to the people of Sierra Leone. That's a slap to the people of Sierra Leone and our intelligence. We cannot afford that. This is a suicide mission. When we, the people of Sierra Leone, are all giving cause, we need for rescue. Lastly, I want to say this to the brother. I will not blame the people of Sierra Leone that much in Freetown. You know why? I will put it on the remittance blame. The remittance blame, I meant that what the brothers and sisters in the diasporas are sending back home. Remember the 2017-13 elections, when that election was at its peak, what Sierra Leoneans were saying in the diaspora. If you not go vote for that man in party, I'm not going to give you one bag dress. I'm not going to send one money for one bag dress for you. At that time, people were buying a bag of rice, as Maada Bio been claimed for an argument sake into that debate, 300,000 leons. Mr. Prince, call back home and fact check me. People are now buying a bag of rice, 607 or 610 or 20,000 leons for a single bag of rice in Sierra Leone. What is the salary rate? What is the salary scheme? If they pay you maybe 1,500,000, which is about 50 pounds, or how many pounds they pay you that money, what can that bring to your table? You have your kids, they are going to schools, they are not beneficiary of the school quality educations. You have to buy them new uniform, new book every academic year they come. They have extra curriculum activities in the schools. How are you going to take care of your homes? How are you going to look after your kids? How are you going to look after your family? Ask these questions.
So Emmanuel, obviously, I want to ask few questions, but of course, again, you set me up more emotionally, where you take note of what a sister say. And Sister Lucretia Ban, of course, you're still watching the program. I'm very much interested in meeting you or getting in touch with you, because the theory you talk about, so this goes like over 5 decades ago. This is a long time ago when Sierra Leone was a completely different place. And I know say you mentioned St. Philip's. Me go Holy Trinity. My brother will call me being John Coma and go St. Philip's. So we, of course, because we come on at that center area, the Boyle Street, Kissy Road, and you name it. I won't go too much, but of course, the long stretch them, I still remember the name, the long stretch, and I can picture some of them. You know, when I some Creole family, then and then we get them, cut them, na Dove cuts, beautifully painted, clean, white and blue. I still remember as a boy. So yes, Emmanuel is right. I got a bit emotional. But let's get back to the real issue. Emmanuel, two things I want for drive at you before I ask me question, because we'll fastly come to the end of this program. Abubakar Mansare, if you watch the screen, I don't know whether you get an extra screen. It say, Mr. Emmanuel, I believe this is directed at you. Do you think Dr. Samura Kamara is the same man as yesterday? Nonetheless, will he be able to meet the demands of Sierra Leoneans? If true, why so sure about what is yet to happen? You probably might understand him more than I do into what Mr. Mansare try for say. But if you do understand him better than I do, maybe you want attempt for answer, Mr. Mansare?
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Mansare. Thank you very much. You know, in every human life, they look at waiting with the talk, characteristics, futures. Then people will learn book. I don't know how I go put this. Them say, train up your child the way he or she they will grow, that when they get old or at a certain age, they will not depart from it. So I want to say this to you, that Dr. Matthew Wilson Samura Kamara, as that of a sure banker and a technocrat, a positive technocrat, he has never departed from those doings. He has never departed from those characteristics. He has never departed from those things in RAM and those practicality. So have that as a sure bank in you. You can bank that in me and bank that in Dr. Matthew Wilson Samura Kamara. Say he has never departed in that. That is why you remember when the sister go, he say go to a town hall. The town hall where he go tell them, say, Sierra Leoneans, una can't talk to me. You be it SLPP, you be the APC, you be the NGC, you be the C4C, you be Mende, you be Timini, you be Alunka, you be Fula, you be Muslims, you be Christians. As long as you carry the green, white, and blue. Dr. Samura Kamara was in that town hall and said, Sierra Leonean, speak to me. I want for Yeri. And anybody when a technocrat, anybody when a shop bank and I go get a person, what did they do? If they do what we call survey, or the engineer, they say feasibility study. You have to study the ground. You have to know the things. You have to know everything. Not like a leader, Maada, where they tell we say, they tell when one can wait and tell me. He said, I gave me support at them. Una go and act, but me not go act. But this year now as a leader, he say, una speak to me. I want for your una problems. So he has to look at the problems then. And he not make sure say he tell them, say, I'm going to give you silver, gold, or whatever. He say, we are going to work together collectively to build the Republic of Sierra Leone. What that tells you? It tells you that is a leader that thinks about national cohesion, national inclusiveness, national unity, and national oneness. And they can say this, a teamwork, you understand, can make you achieve a dream work. Like a brother here said, an illusion. Illusion, yes, you can sleep, at least in Wonderworld and this world. But when you have those imaginative thoughts, you have those visionary thoughts, what you do? You form a team, a very calculated team.
Emmanuel,
you put it to
Emmanuel,
yes. Yes,
Emmanuel, now I'm sure that you're picking up on all the comments as well. And because you mentioned on our brother Charles Dubes, I'll be really, of course, the comment we make then at the screen. And I want to ask you a question regarding that and provide a perspective. Illusion, you guys are in your own world, and you guys, I believe, now a capital Y, which is plural, meaning most likely me and you, illusion. What is illusional about what we are saying? Inflation is over 40%. And if you want to make a comparative analysis between the then and the now, you can see the vast gap. And if you understand what inflation is and how it impacts the economy and subsequently the people, you can equally see the difference between then and now. You can see how people have been sucked into that suction of poverty as a consequence of fiscal mismanagement. These are all facts. On this over to you is, if you are refusing to acknowledge the facts, How do you find a solution to the problems in a case where the president himself have said that are not go able for Hepuna, and you don't say Ukraine, Russia war, na the cause, and if this war they continue, how is he going to help the nation for take the nation out of the current state of poverty that they have been sucked into? Your thoughts, Emmanuel?
Thank you. You see, today we have another set or class of my brothers and sisters back home as youth in Sierra Leone. We can make some certain statement and use some words them way. Those words, sometimes them can be called for, sometimes it's not necessary. When you talk about illusion, you mean something about being magician. You see, if a brother man says, so, well, I think the brother man gets for, excuse we from this or restrain we from this and sort Maada Bio inside into this illusion world. Because Maada Bio was the one at night into that debate where say, then go come and change the economy into a different positive state where Sierra Leoneans themselves go live within the sky like somebody is building castle in the air. These were the statements. So you can identify and classify Maada Bio as a constructive and a solid illusionist. You understand me? So for me, the brother man here, what do me want for play to Ram? I want for play this thing into Ram where we APC believe in democracy. That's not your opinion, that's not your thought. He have the right to it. You understand? So let him continue to say this. But all waiting me to say here to the brother man and the Sierra Leoneans, please, my dear brother, I want you to go back and sit down. Am I the one or Mr. Prince write and put Sierra Leone as country where they third or last into the unhappiest states in the world? Where they mark we in with level of inhuman or undemocratic intolerance? Now me Sidon, I make now me and Mr. Prince Sidon who make the Amnesty International report. Presently, the special government investigation team where the president say let them do out. That report, if you see that report, of course, Mr. Prince, nobody will take it away from you that you are an elite, you are an elite person. If you look that report, you go find out say that report indent the SLPP seriously. That the economic growth, the regional discrimination, the regional segregation, tribalism, regionalism, the economic bankruptcy in the country, unemployment of youth in the countries, the poor system of the judiciary, the poor system of the police, how they practice or bring their jobs into exercise, all these things them take into that report. But in a crooked way, the report said these are not all in solid reasons. So that speaks an illusion also, my dear brother, if you want to talk about illusions. But already I tell you, not to me and Mr. Prince Sidoya, we go sit down, we write the United States of America, the human rights records against this SLPP government. Not me and Mr. Prince responsible as the bank governor Murana Kalon. We don't tell we say he get for return back in the country Sierra Leone for go damage or for go kill finally the economy where they into an exigent support in the Republic of Sierra Leone. It's not me and Mr. Prince do all those things I want to say here. It's the SLPP government that done all these things. Not that we put word or something Maada Bio and say, go talk, say, there is nothing you can do in the battered economic system, in the type of governance poor system in the Republic of Sierra Leone. Not that we put word in my mouth. He said it for himself vocally or vividly into that interview. So what is the illusion here? But my brother, as I always say in APC, we play democracy and we play to its letter and that of its spirit. So I want to welcome you to democracy, and I hope that we continue to practicalize democracy within the realms of Sierra Leone or its republic.
Okay, Manuel, let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, we use 5 minutes for wrap up the program. And I really want to appreciate your time, ladies and gentlemen. This has been an interesting program. It's obvious that we expect more people for calling. This is where we expect Sierra Leoneans to express their views, both for and against. We just didn't provide a platform. Unfortunately, we had a few people and we call. And the few people that we call, Can we use this opportunity for express with thanks and gratitude to them? And also to Emmanuel Rabinga for pluck up at the last minute, here for Can Fill Up, because this is not the idea behind the program. And the idea behind the program is between now and election day, every week randomly, because I do work as well. I've got my main work that I do, just like most other people. But because we got an obligation to the Sierra Leonean people and we therefore come up with such programs, I mean, they look for somebody for sit in me position. Let's say next week, for example, the program has to be held. And it's going to be difficult for me to be available. These are things that we talk in the background. Unfortunately, I get for being kind of the foreground. So I'm going to look for somebody, for sit in me place so that the program, go sort of go on so you're not stall. However, I'll not be able to get us in, but we go find a way anyway. But this is not the TNN TV Media Empire program today, on the 20th of April, 2023. Don't touch that dial. Interesting. Watch back some reflection on 2018 and 2017.
We said we are going to handle it.
Okay, everything else in for the play up. Let's see this one, whether I will play up as well. If it doesn't play up, okay, inbox sim for the play up. This is interesting, but this is not technology, AI or whatever. This is what it is. Kaletu Kamara, good evening. Good evening to you, my dear sister. Emmanuel, a lot of us, including myself, now understand the psychology of Sierra Leonean politics in many respects. And I mean this, I mean this. I really mean them, especially when it comes to the people. The thing what they try for say, Emmanuel, is like, for example, on which basis can political leaders go on for run, for become leaders for the country? Just like our election in the council. One side, they talk about failure of somebody, and the other side, they talk about hope for the other person. But yet, both have got supporters, and then support them the way in a social media in which the talk is so strong. So, for example, the economy is failing. This is very, very true. This is not being made up. And I know say now there's some people that can blame me. Oh, they try for balance the program. There is no balance in the program. The fact is the economy is failing. And also the economy is failing because of fiscal indiscipline. These are all facts. This is not an opinion. We had a bank governor who's just bailed out. The president finally found the courage for Saka, which he should have done a long time ago, because policy upon policy upon policy were all failures. And as we speak, so as a consequence of in policy, we get two money they run side by side, going into election, which is decision time. We got issues of human rights and many other things. The weaponization of the judiciary, if you were like. I could go on and on and on and on. But the point why they try for make, and why I want for let you make me understand and the guest, is on whose basis we Sierra Leonean people and they vote. Now, in terms of accomplishment, in terms of what you don't accomplish, or potentially what you can accomplish, which is which?
Look, when Fosabini say here, Mr. Prince, you remember when I tell you, say, sometimes you have those indivisible hands them where you will not see. That's why I say they are indivisible hands or indivisible voice or power. You cannot see them. One, it's based on the diaspora. Yeah, the diaspora are so influential into our daily or national body politicking. If you remember back 2017 or 18, when I make reference, people from the diaspora were calling back their family members at home, friends, sympathizers, or relatives that if you not go vote here, I will not go do this. That one will be a great contributed factors where put we today where we are into this particular time. But I would say all this, Lakamna, you said when you say about the under which philosophy. That's not a very good take that one. This is the time I believe say we young folks them we don't come into politics. We begin ask ourselves on which basis where we they vote in for the leaders then? Yeah. Like first where I start, I tell you about the competency of this leader. I tell you about the leader in transformation, in leadership skill, in leadership quality, how best this leader do exemplify, do exhibit this particular good things then where they in how we don't transform, I don't bring and come into existence, where don't show a great difference, or we don't left as a legacy into that country, or we don't left as a sustainable development. That is why I start by this referencing for you to Dr. Matthew Wilson Samura Kamara, that there are no institution today in the Republic of Sierra Leone under the late President Ahmad Tijan Kaba to this Honest by Kuruma and present to this SLPP where you go point fingers at out of 100%. You understand? Maybe Centena just 3% or almost 2% you go point where you say, oh, this man the same way they come, this man he not been there. But all those institutions then, Dr. Matthew Samura Kamara and been the way they serve today as development or sustainable development into that country. So you begin to look at those things. If these things then be sustainable things, then this lead you for make you begin think for put this in your own thought, in your philosophical thought, when to rocket science. If this man not been gets this power, if this man not been that of an apprentice, if this man not been a team player, you understand, but he's serving in those strategic positions then, he able for play a great role, let this thing then come into light. He able for play a great role, let them things here so they solidly today when an ongoing things then. What would be my thoughts today for make I go choose between this man and this other man? You understand? Waiting go be me thought how this person don't come for can't tell you in particular saying, in particular thought. Where we go call say this person get a manifesto, this person get these things. If you look today at the SLPP, the manifesto as a party, the APC, about for bring come the manifesto, and I will pray that you get that time for bring me back now. So I will continue for tell you based on the philosophical game. But one thing where they look at for me, I say politics, it's a philosophical game, it's a marketing, it's an idea, it's a thought. When you look at Samura Kamara, he get the experience, he gets everything where it take, you understand me? So based on this, me I will look on Samura Kamara, any wise Sierra Leonean where the thought, well, you rationalize, you thought and put Maada, you put Samura Kamara and look, say, and then two people there, who that are going to vote for? You go back to pre-days, you go back to this and bring and come. That is why Samura Kamara reference, he say, he go try and make sure, say, it takes Sierra Leone back, we go to the 1961. That's a good philosophical thought. That's a good brainstorm. Me and you too now, Mr. Prince, I believe say that for don't left you into many things and wait for the ask yourself a question. Ideally, if Samura Kamara say they take we back to 1961, what does it mean? What do you mean? What do you really after? Then this will put you now into a resting situation. You pillow dinner, you ate now, and then you think, or you quiet mood. What are the things that happened in 1961? What are the significant things that happened in 1961? What are the good things that happened in 1961? What are these bad things that happened in 1961? What are the gains we make in 1961? So if we say back, if we get a good gains, we go back to 1961. Don't you think it's a good thing for us? With the experience, with the advancement of this modern technology days, don't you think it's a good thing? But you take all those good things, then will happen. In our reference, say, would they go back to Third World War, to Second World War or First World War? We say we'll go back to 1961. These are things that now we need to for begin brainstorm philosophically, ideally, we begin for thought. We say they can go 1961. What happened? What have been the good things then? Good things then be happened if we begin independence. What happened? How will economy be there? How will human rights be there? How civil liberty been there? Waiting at the thing that will happen. Waiting up in the percentage of the administrative quality, good things that will happen. We begin to check all those things. If we could now, we'll make another value of today where technology don't advance. Because one of the, I will say, Charles thing, where I see the Minister of Information, they talk, say, now we get mobile phone them. So they want we go to 1961 or no get mobile phone. How can you say that? The mobile phone and all these things were existing back in 1960, where you cannot take it away. But it's modern technology where they improve. So if modern technology don't improve, we have to look at those gains back in the years and put it all together, and we move forward as a nation. So politics for me in that side, it's a philosophical game. And hopefully I'm waiting for that time when the APC will don't bring out a manifesto. I will come now for can't tell you the things that were there into that manifesto as a good philosophical things. They're not all in philosophy, but that of the things that we want to practicalize into the country and make sure say they happen for be a good manifest into the lives of meaningful Sierra Leoneans, then we go serve for the general good into the well-being of every Sierra Leonean, whether you're in and out of the shores of Sierra Leone. Thank you.
Yeah, Emmanuel, well said. And let's just bring me last 1 or 2 questions to you.
I'm sorry again. I just want to make this thing.
Yeah,
sorry for take you on this.
Right.
I just want for ladies here. For bring and come to you, just make the I mean, I put them as a point of record straight. Yesterday, I don't know, maybe because I understand how we busy at the West here, maybe you know, been get that time for listening to or view Radio 98.1, where one of them co-worker or maybe as correspondent, where the news anchor then be there into the program, where the correspondent go to that of the bank governor, and the bank governor make him vividly out there to the nation, say he's still serving as the bank governor, but he just go leave. After we leave done, he go come back and take the office. So he was never sacked by the president of the Republic of Sierra Leone, when the president Maada Bio. He was never sacked. The bank governor said that yesterday vividly, and the videos and audios are out there. Michael Samura did that interview.
Yeah, Emmanuel, that's a great point, and I'm going to check it up, because we all don't go with this notion that finally it's good when you correct me publicly, because me understanding is the president finally relieved the bank governor of impost, not knowing that this is exactly what is going on. And here is the point, Sierra Leoneans. I mean, there's no clarity in dealing with issues. So you leave your own people and, you're sort of confused. On issues as serious as the economy, this is not the man we don't propose. Policy after policy, failure after failure, it get the gall, it get the audacity on which basis I don't understand. For come back and can say, well, I was never fired. I just go on leave, but at the camp. How dare he? How dare he? Anyway, Emmanuel, let me not get too excited, because I hate something like this, where it makes sense. And then you go get barely can use, then kind of descriptive language there, we look abusive, or sometimes within the context is suitable. You can back that up. On which basis I don't understand. The man in record is one of failure. That is the fact. It's not an opinion, a fact. FACT, all in caps. That's a fact. He's failed the Sierra Leonean people. The economy has failed, here to take off. Today, most Sierra Leoneans are in poverty. We in more debt today, because we debt don't rise. We external debt is over how many trillions? That's the reason. Yeah, trillions of leons. If you do a comparative analysis, compare and contrast. The same thing I've been saying earlier on with inflation. We know say by the time SLPP government take over, yes, inflation been a gain, but it been there around 13 and 17%. And there was projection because the price of iron ore been supposed for rise, hence it been supposed for
yes, thank you. As you say, yes, the inflation rate's been there. Mr. P, I'm not caught you here. It been there. I agree with you. Yes, things we are not arguing well for the state. But here again, when I tell you that you have a responsible leader, and as Kuruma at that time is served as any responsible leader within the diaspora, waiting the government do at that time, you go agree with me that for pushing the suffering or all these things into the people, the government's been able for bring out what we call the austerity. The austerity here, people will not agree with this. The austerity here is that the government, in that time when we see this happen, that they happen, the thing will also become tense in the people. As a responsible government, what happened? Unless Koroma called a meeting, he called all his ministers, he called government agencies, parastatals, and told them, say, look, what thing we got for do, gentlemen and gentlewomen? What thing we have to do? Let we begin for cut down some government spendings. Then we begin for cut down some excess spendings or in different ministries. Let we begin for cut them now, and those monies them now where we they use, we begin for put them into those highway one for history into the people. thinking about this thing where would they say the government at that time, they still they subsidize for the people and back home during an Eskurumine government. Yeah, these things and they happen at the diaspora. That we call a responsible government. We mean well for in people and we take up the right thing and answer to the right call of in people and at that time. But Mr. Prince, you will agree with me and many full Sierra Leoneans them today where the diaspora more back home will agree say since this government we get the corona, we get this thing where don't happen at the country. The SLPP ministers, the president still live in that lavish, extravagant traveling system. Where at the end of the day, there is nothing to write home about when they tell we say we don't go get IMF or IMF, how you call this MMC cost card, report card. You don't pass them. Where is this cost card, report card income? What are you guys have to write home about?
Emmanuel, let me ask you two final questions because we don't run out of time, honestly. And I really appreciate your time tonight. But based on what you've been just see, which should be clear to every Sierra Leonean, and kudos to a brother, Cherno Africanist Press Bar. A lot of people may not like him, but a lot of people do like him, and it might be for different reasons. But when it comes to the issue of corruption in the country, I mean, the brother look like say been spot on. For example, the case where he been make just now case where the brother don't outline, and he put them in black and white. I mean, is it the same politics which just cannot divide with or let we not accept, say, the case where the brother been make is so right for the nation and we need for embrace them if we need for prosecute the perpetrators of their crimes there against with people? And finally, Emmanuel, final thoughts on 2023 elections. Who do you think will prevail? I know you don't make a good case, but who do you think will prevail?
As I tell you, say, I'm so optimistic here that Dr. Matthew Wilson Samura Kamara is going to be the people's president, not only the president in that name, but he's going to be the people's president, he's going to be the listeners' president, he's going to be the heartfelt president of the people, he's going to be the right president, he's going to be the Sierra Leonean president, he's going to be my president, he's going to be your president. In the call with the name by virtue of his slogan, which is that of a meaningful and positive slogan, we are standing a very solid rock, which I'm saying, my Sierra Leone, my responsibility. And that man is going to be that president will take Sierra Leone, say Sierra Leone is his responsibility, alongside a vice president where now Honorable Cherno Maju Ba in the Republic of Sierra Leone. So optimistic here, and I stand in that optimism rock, very solid that Dr.
We said we are going to handle it. And if Captain Strasser decides to change his mind,
all said and done, we felt it in reality, we felt it in our heart, we felt it in our skins, and we know this, we see this, and we are aware about it, we knows it, and one saying where one last for let you would say, those who knows it, they feel it. Those who feel it, they knows it. The Sierra Leonean people knows it all. The Sierra Leonean people feel it all. That is why the brother say it's a how the brother man name him. He say na a referendum, and this referendum for me, I say it's that of a suicide rescue mission for rescue the lives of Sierra Leoneans. You giving Maada Bio another 5 years, Mr. Prince. I say this for reality. Our people back home have committed suicide into themselves or in their own lives or person, and we are not going to allow this, not by any powerful means, not by the bullets, not by the guns, not by forceful means, but we are going to do so in a democratic way, in a democratic practices, in a democratic most valid call for bring Dr. Matthew Wilson Samura Kamara as the next president of the Republic of Sierra Leone. The Sierra Leonean people have already speak. The Sierra Leonean people have already make up their mind. They are waiting for that very day when on the 24th day of June for make sure say they go out there and vote out Maada Bio. I want for left with this lastly, Mr. Prince, and thank you for giving me the opportunity. For those of you, because of one reason or the other, we're not being collect yet on our voters and registration cards them. We continue the plea tone. Go out there into those places them where they within your locality, as the ECSL don't say, then go announce their locality, then they usai for go collect, not the usual place which I be go register where you go verify. But then go make sure say now each side that way neck they operate within you community or within the district for make you go collect your voter registration card because of certain reason you don't know the diaspora, you not being reached back home due to ticket, flight delay, and all those things for you they back home traveling this, you not been getting resource for go. Please, ECSL don't say now the regional places them. And we go continue for ask them, let them give with those places them, the calendar or the dates them, where we go come and make the announcement the day to you. Remember, say you vote now you right, and you vote now you like. Thank you very much, Mr. Prince, for giving me this opportunity.
It's always a pleasure, brother.
In the interest of this nation, I will not follow you. Even if we have agreed, I will break that agreement.
You might get a record. All the DJs, them down with this. All promoters, them down with this. Yaya Iku is down with this. Blue Orleans is down with this. EBM is down with this. Uche and Mr. Green.
Okay. Again, the video just went off, but we've come to the end of the program. Nadi, thanks for tuning in. I mean, I would have lost everybody by now, but I'm happy that you tune in. At least I've never had a chance to put in the last word to officially close the program because, again, the network was kind of playing up. But I'm happy that I've made a contribution thus far. The only thing I wanted to leave with folks was to make it clear to them that our forebearers suffered a lot, that they made some gains and contributions, and without what they did, we could not have achieved what we have done thus far. So, on this note, I want to leave you all with the wise words of Dr. Martin Luther King, that there comes a time when silence is betrayal. For the then and now, I've been your host and presenter, Prince Nkrumah, saying good night for now. Goodbye. Okay, Fambulem, this brings we effectively to the end of another beautiful round of program, but let me bear in mind that this particular program, Sierra Leoneans go to the polls, you have to make this decision where they come up every 5 years, when a very serious decision. It happens once every week, and you don't get specific time of the week, so it's random. Today we want to say thank you to the very few number of callers that we call. This is a testimony of we affection, if I would say, and we attachment, and to a country. We hope the next episode will attract very more callers them, because we know some people can sit on their laurels just to watch and see what thing happen, and this is what the situation is. I want to say again once more, thank you to all Sierra Leoneans. This has been a TNN TV Media Empire program. I am asking you to be smart, be strong, be resilient, question more. We will bring more to you as we get it. And for now, this has been the TNN TV Media Empire. Let's love us all. Let's love our country, Sierra Leone. Until then, when I see you again shortly, goodbye for now.